I sway way too much when I take videos in these chairs. I'm trying to put my hair back so that way I stop touching it so much, but now I just keep touching my ponytail. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today is a very unusual video for me. Like, I would never really film a video like this if it weren't for so many people suggesting that I make it. So just keep that in mind. I tend to watch these on YouTube sometimes though, just because I find them interesting to see what people do. So this video is going to be like do's and don'ts of Instagram and how to take really good Instagram photos. I don't really know. People ask me all the time how I edit my Instagram video or Instagram pictures and like what I do, like what are some tips and tricks to making your Instagram look good. And before you think that sounds like a crazy like Instagrammer, like people do market themselves on Instagram. So I have like a lot of cosmetologists and hairstylists that message me asking what can I do to make my feed look better, people that are trying to market their clothing brand or something like that. I have a lot of people actually that ask me. I don't like market anything. Well, let me just start from the beginning. In the past year, I kind of transitioned my Instagram over to like a fashion blog, kind of, because I still like to post stuff, like obviously about my personal life, but I also really like to post fashion and like my looks and stuff like that. So I've kind of transitioned over to that, and ever since I have done that, my Instagram, I have gained a lot of followers. A lot more people are coming to my page because they like what they see, they like to look at my outfits, whatever. So I'm just here, I guess, to help out with anybody who's trying to market themselves a little better on Instagram. So I guess I'm just trying to explain that for people that might think this is like totally stupid because Instagram's like social media, but some people really do benefit from it. For me, it's just for fun, but I'm here to give some tips and tricks. I just have a little bit of a disclaimer here that I am a strong, avid believer. Post whatever you want, like post whatever makes you happy. This is just for those people that are specifically looking to make their Instagram look aesthetically pleasing or to market themselves to their audience. But I'm not saying that if you post something with bright colors or you post something by landscape that's not pleasing to the eye that your Instagram is bad. Like, I'm not saying that at all. I don't want anyone to think that I'm like bashing people who don't post stuff like this on Instagram. I'm just saying this is for people who want to take it to the next level. All right, let's move on. My first tip on how to make your Instagram look nice is to use a preset. So if you guys know, I've mentioned it before, I think, but I edit all my photos using Adobe Lightroom. So it's a free app. I'll actually try to pull up on here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So it's a free app that lets you edit your videos and choose a preset for it. So here's one of my photos with the preset I already have onto it, but I'll reset it to show you this is what the original looked like. In my preset, I have a list of presets here. Some of them I downloaded from other people, but a lot of them I just made myself. So the one that I use primarily is called Downtown. Don't ask me why I named it that. I name it random things. But there you go. You can see it just brightens the picture and it matches the rest of my feed. So I'll kind of show you what I use in it. So the exposure's up a tiny bit, highlights are down quite a bit, shadows up a tiny bit, whites too, blacks are up quite a bit. Color, there's not much change here. Not much change in the effect except for I did up the grain and the roughness quite a bit. These can both be reduced on selfies just because they don't, like, grain doesn't look good with selfies in my opinion, but on pictures, like landscape pictures, it actually, I think, looks pretty nice. So that's basically it for my own preset. It took me a long time to like make one that I actually like and one that actually I feel fits very well for me. So obviously if you look back on my Instagram, there's like some different looks going on like a year ago. It took me a while of like making it, perfecting it, because I would make it and then I would take certain pictures that just certain colors looked so bad in. So I was like, well, I kind of want to make a new one because, for example, I love blues. Like when I take a picture outside, I like it when the sky, you can still see that the sky is blue. And a preset that I really liked that I used for a while, it made the sky look pretty much white, and it drowned out color so much that like the beach and the sky, like it didn't even look like what it was. And I don't want to do that. Like I never want to really make things something that they're not. I just want to like enhance certain features, if that makes sense. So that's all I do to edit my photos. I just do it in Lightroom. Like I said, it's a free app. I really like it. I think it's a lot easier to get what you want because there's much more you can do to edit the photos, if that makes sense. So that's my first piece of advice, is to get a preset, and then once you do find a preset that you really like, use that for all of your pictures, because then even if your photos are taken like in different places or you're wearing different things, the overall color hues and stuff will be the same, and it'll make your feed look really aesthetically pleasing, which attracts people to it. The second piece of advice that I have, this kind of goes without saying, but I would always take photos outside or in front of like a larger window if you're taking indoor pictures. And so this kind of goes along with like a do and a don't. Don't take pictures inside with artificial lighting, like just your lamps, I mean, in your house, because dark pictures do not attract people, because when they first look at it, it's hard for them to see exactly what's in it. So trust me, I live in Wisconsin and it's not nice weather year round, so like taking nice pictures outside is hard sometimes when, first of all, it gets dark at like by 5 p.m. in the winter, and second of all, you don't have like pretty scenery because everything's like the grass is brown, everything's whatever. So this is where you would use buildings, and then if you are in a place where you like have really pretty nature, use nature as much as possible. It looks great. Trust me, it looks great. Like if you think about like what photos do you love when people take, it's probably the ones that are outside, either by like a really pretty tree or by a beach or something like that. So try to take it outside. But like I said, a little trick for in the winter time, take it by like architecture, like cool looking buildings, stairs, something like that. So that kind of goes along with my third piece of advice for taking bomb Instagram photos, is to choose your backgrounds wisely. Think about it before you take the photo. Sometimes spontaneous photos come up, which is cool, like I love those too, but pick a background that you know is going to be aesthetically pleasing for people to look at. I'll just share some of my favorites. Number one is like a downtown scenery. So anywhere with like pretty downtown landscape or something like that is going to be really, really good for you. Another place is, or another photo background I should say that I like, are garage doors. I'll try to include like examples of what I'm talking about with my own photos, but for some reason for me, garage doors just always look pretty nice, and I see other people do it and it looks nice too. Other than that, like stairs are always nice, or if you live by a pretty field, like that's always a go. I don't really live by any pretty fields. I do for like a month before they mow it, but if you have like pretty long grass fields, that might be nice too. But I guess my point here is think about your background first, and also some people who are like super crazy cool at Instagram do this. I don't really do this, but try to match your backgrounds to like the colors that are in your feed, if that makes sense. My next and probably biggest piece of advice for taking really good Instagram pictures, if you're doing them for like outfits like me, like you're trying to be a fashion blogger, your poses that you do are so important. So I'll share a few of my favorite that work for me, but I'll also add in some others that I think are really cool too. So first, I have to give shout out to somebody else, because I was actually inspired a lot for my Instagram by another girl's Instagram. Her name's Bailey Barnes. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But her and I actually talk quite a bit on Instagram, but she is also a fashion blogger, and I was inspired by a lot of her photos. So a lot of the ones I'm talking about here are hers. I can't take credit for it. I was inspired by her. I have her permission to make this video. She said go for it. I want to give credit where it's due though. She is the one that came up with these like poses, but I think it's great that like on Instagram we can like get advice from other people and get inspiration from other people. So I'll share a few poses with you. So the first is one that she always uses, and she calls it the flamingo. So it's just where you put one leg up. This is just really flattering, like on pretty much everybody. It always looks nice to have your body angled that way and to have one leg up like that. And it's also, this is a really good position for people who feel awkward at posing, because if you don't know like what way to stand or something like that, like just try it, turn to the side, put your leg up like this, have fun with it, and it'll be a great photo. So that's the first. The second one is the hand up by the head. I know Bailey does this one all the time, and I totally was inspired by her too. I don't know what she calls it, but just putting your hand up by your head like this, it gives you like the sense of motion, kind of like you're dancing or something, if that makes sense. But it's just another position that looks pretty nice. Another one that I actually really like is something with your hair, where you play with your hair or you like throw your hair or something like that. This again creates some motion in your photo, because nobody likes really boring photos where you're just standing there. People are drawn to photos that show some sort of motion in them. So the hair one is really good. She does a lot where she like takes her hair and kind of goes like this. I haven't really done that yet, but I do a lot where I just kind of like throw my hair. So another pose, and one that it's one of my personal favorites because it's like the ultimate sense of motion, is actually to literally do a twirl. So if you're wearing a skirt or a dress, this works obviously better than if you're wearing jeans, because there's really nothing to twirl. But I love taking pictures with a sense of like twirl in it, or even a picture where you take some of your dress and you throw it. This is great for like long skirts and dresses and stuff like that, because it just really gives motion. So any kind of twirl or throw of the dress, good photos, good photos. So last one I'm gonna say here is one that I love too. I do this all the time, but this is really figure flattering to do this. So you kind of take one hand back and put it on your hips, and then you take another one kind of up by your head. This is great for someone who doesn't know what to do with their hands when they're taking a photo, because it gives you something to do with your hands, and it looks cute and it creates shape to your photo. So like I said, I'm gonna try to have like real life photos examples of these, but those are just a few poses that I will recommend that you can try. I think in general, to have a really good photo, be aware of every part of your body, because like I will have photos where I'm like, oh my god, this is such a cute picture, but like look at how awkward my hand looks, or like why is my leg doing that or something. Be aware of every single part of your body. Just always be aware of what your body's doing, because if you're aware of it, then you can try to troubleshoot some like awkward photos. I have a few really awkward photos of me, like my leg looks super crazy, or my hand. I have this beautiful photo I took in my recital dress that I actually will include here, but I was like flailing my dress and it looked so pretty, but my hand looked so weird, like I just could not use it. So I guess that's it, just to always be aware of your body, and it will make for a really good photo. I'm not sure if I said that last one was my last or not, but I think this is actually my last one, and this is a pretty big one, and I guess it's just to do a variety of things and poses in your photos. So like I'll go into depth with that because that's pretty broad, but for example, like try to do your makeup a little different when you're taking a photo, or do your hair a little different when taking a photo. For sure, I mean, if you're a fashion blogger, you should be having different outfits, because that's what you're showing. But for me, I have a terrible habit of always wearing my hair just down and curly, which is pretty, but people don't realize it. But when people see the same thing over and over again, it becomes less effective to them and they forget it a lot easier. Whereas if you try like a cute new hairstyle, or you try to do your makeup, like try a bright lip color or something, people remember that and it sticks out and it draws people to you. I hope that makes sense. Like again, I'm not saying that this is like the only way to do your Instagram. I'm just saying this is a way to make people drawn to you if you're trying to market yourself. So I think that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and didn't find it too weird. It was kind of weird for me to film, honestly. It's just not my usual type of video. But I hope that this helped people. I know, like I said, like the reason I'm doing this is because a lot of people reach out asking me, number one, how do I edit my photos? So there's your answer. But number two, just what I do to make my Instagram look nice. Where do I come up with these ideas? Stuff like that. So I hope that this helped. And once again, I want to remind you, please go check out Bailey's Instagram. I'll leave the handle like here somewhere. But she has been such a great, like kind of like a mentor to me is how I would consider her. I come to her when I have a lot of questions about like fashion blogging or stuff like that, because she's amazing. Her outfits are So cute. Follow her on Instagram, you guys, and go check out her stuff and check out her cute poses because a lot of them have inspired mine. But that's gonna be it for this video, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I have some fun videos coming soon. I recently took to Instagram and asked people what videos they want to see in the next month on my channel. I did like a little survey with a poll. So I have a pretty good idea of some fun videos to do for the next month, but stay tuned for those. Oh, and also I want to say this. I am nearing 700 subscribers and I'm going to do a really cool giveaway when I hit 700. So if you're watching this and you aren't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It's going to be a really cool giveaway. I'll say that. It's a giveaway I haven't done yet before, and it's got a really cool concept to it. So I'll release more once it gets a little bit closer to 700, but subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see everybody in my next video. Bye. Okay, side note, look at how cute this dress is, guys. It's the same dress I wore when I went and tried on wedding dresses. It's like, I don't know, it's so fun. I got it off Amazon, but I just wanted to show you that dress before I go.